Yeah, really proud of the guys, as I always am, in success or not. Like you've always got to compliment their competitive spirit. The toughness to compete. I always want that to be front and center. Rice play unbelievably hard and very physical, and you have to counter that. And I thought the guys did an outstanding job of that, because if you can't physically keep pace or dominate people, then you've got no chance of winning any sport. So yeah, excellent job by the guys. It was a short prep because of the weather for both teams. And I thought the guys were excellent with it. We were really light yesterday, and then we just had the shoot around today and had to come out and execute, which is great preparation for tournament play or short turnaround games, which is excellent. So you learn from that. We can lean back on that experience as well. We made some adjustments at halftime. I thought the guys came out, did some really good things. Excellent couple of games. And, we, as I said on radio, we always celebrate our successes. I'm just a little concerned that they celebrate getting 2 days off more than they actually celebrate their successes winning games. So I might have to question you guys about that a little bit, Spencer, but they deserve it. We'll try and freshen up. We've got a couple of guys a little banged up, and I look forward to a big week ahead. Yeah, look, if you want me to be honest, I think we've had a lot of guys that have not played a lot at this level. We've had a number of guys that haven't won very much in their career at a high level. We have a starting center that's hardly played basketball at all, and so every game is just a lot of new experiences for him, and he's getting better and better every game. I coach them really hard every day. I hold them to a high level of accountability, and because I want them to taste success at a really high level and learn to understand that if you work really hard, you'll be rewarded. And I think if you can take those behaviors into their lives, whatever they do, I think they know they can be successful if they just really work. And sometimes you work your butt off and you don't have success. And to your question, I would say that during the non-conference, we worked really, really hard and really competitive, and we just couldn't get. We would dig ourselves holes, and we'd fight back in, and we couldn't get across the line. Well, now I think that curve's moving a little bit, which is great, and I think that's what they're learning. I always say this: you will be rewarded for your hard work. You will be. As I've said this many times too, I think winning is really hard, and I think losing is as easy as it comes in anything you do. And I think that's just what changed with a lot of guys. I think they're learning behaviors on what it takes to have success.
Coach, the last time I spoke to you, the last home game, which was against Tulane, you mentioned how you didn't like the way our team closed the game. Obviously, you guys played a lot better towards the end of the game. What would you attribute that to?
Yeah, just learning, being in those situations. I said it to the guys in the locker room. I 1,000% respect Rice's competitive spirit all the way through to the end. That's what I expect our team to do. You're not just going to run it out. Like, you're going to compete and get after it. And they did that, because at the end of the day, you're trying to build behavior. You're trying to build behavior of hard work and competing, because they will be rewarded for that. That team's improving a lot. They really are. So, just us being in those situations, learning that we have to be strong with the ball and make good leads and throw good passes and make big free throws and and then defend when people are really coming at you and getting downhill. And so that's why we went to our press and zone a little bit in that situation. So just being in it as a group and learning from past experiences.
Similar question for either of you. You've had multiple close games, overtime finish, 270s, and then even the first game against Rice came down to the wire. You had a time frame in the second half where they didn't score for plus 5 minutes. What was the conversation at halftime? And then when they started to trickle back up there towards the end, what was the kind of conversation there to try to obviously stop that?
I think at halftime, I mean, Coach told us they were going to punch back. I mean, I feel like we were doing pretty well the entire first half, and they weren't hitting shots, so we knew that they were going to come out and throw the first punch. And after they threw the first punch, I feel like it was kind of just, we had to get settled in and realize that they're not just going to give up, 'cause, I mean, they're a great team. So at that point, we just had to slow down, get back into our stuff, and just keep continuing what we were doing in the first half. And that's how we were able to build the lead again.
Spencer, early in the second half, there was defensively the team was incredible. What would you say that you saw that Rice did that made it easier to predict what they were going to do?
I mean, obviously this is our second time playing them, so we kind of know their tendencies at this point. But as a team, I feel like we really just dug in deep, and like we wanted this game. We know what this means for us placement-wise in the conference. So knew their actions. We're going through them the past 2 days, so we knew how to guard them, and we just got it done.
It's been a big bounce back game for you. 9 points, 45. Very efficient after a game where you kind of struggled and moving forward. What was Coach's message to you after that simple game that kind of allowed you to focus in on the next game and have a pretty solid show?
The biggest message was just stay confident. 'Cause, I mean, at the end of the day, every shot's not going to go in. So stay confident. I mean, we put in the work, like Coach says. You put in the work, you're going to get rewarded. Kept my head down all week. Stayed in the gym, worked, and tonight it paid off.
And Coach, to follow on that, how have you seen Spencer kind of grow up his role as the season's progressed?
Yeah, look, I mean, Spencer would have learned a lot of things at Tulane, you know, like he may not have been real happy with the situation, but it's the situation at the end of the day. You know, he was playing for, you know, a really good program at a really good level, and, he's getting an opportunity here, which I don't give anything to anybody. I don't care who you are, where you come from, what you think you are, like you're going to have to earn it. And, Spencer had a challenging summer, like he needed to learn how to work harder and work a certain way and play with better poise, stay in his role. And everything he's getting, he's earning. And I'm really proud of him, as I am with a lot of guys. But obviously we're talking about Spencer here. He's been great to coach. He has this infectious energy with the team. He's always got a great spirit. He has a great joy for the game. His heart's in the right place to just go out and compete and have a lot of fun. There's no selfishness about him. It's like, whatever you need me to do, I'll do. Whatever role you need me to do, I'll do it. And he's gone out and done that and helped our program grow. And I think that's what they've got to be. They've got to join this program and help it take another step and help it grow. And our job as coaches is to help him grow and just keep improving and have an outstanding experience. And to date, he's having that. But he's got to keep working because, as I say to them, you never arrive, right? I don't think you ever arrive when you're an athlete. You've got to keep striving to be better. You can never get comfortable. That's going to be our challenge as a team is don't get comfortable. We've got a different target on our back. Like, we're going to have to keep working. There's a lot of things we've got to get better at. Like, we are not going to beat the better teams in our league if we give up 22 offensive rebounds for 29 points. I'm telling you that right now. You know what I mean? So, but that's why you go through the season to grow.
Coach, how would you evaluate your team's play in transition today? Obviously, that's one thing that stood out. Mingo made great passes to others in transition, but again, overall, how would you assess your team's?
Well, if I was you and you had to answer that question, right? It's hard to get out in transition when we give up so many offensive rebounds, right? Because I felt, to your point, that if we could stop them, I thought our first shot defense was very good. If we could cleanly rebound those balls, we would be able to get out and transition and even be better than what you see. So yeah, I felt if we could push it against them, I thought we could put them under some pressure. Obviously, short turnaround, try and get into their legs a little bit. You know, we're pretty deep. We can just keep running people at you. So, yeah, I thought there was some good stuff there. I didn't think it was great early on. We had that patch like towards the end of the first half, and then second half was better, but yeah, it's just limited because we don't keep them off the glass.
Coach, last one for me, next on the docket, Wichita State, team that we all know how that game went here, but their team is 13-8, 10-2 at home. What's the challenge going to their place, team that seems to elevate their game play from the home crowd?
Yeah, I mean, they got an awesome fan base. I hope it's a huge, aggressive crowd on Wednesday at their place. I really hope it is. I'd love our guys to have to deal with that pressure to perform in those environments, because I think that's what this is about. You want to be in those environments. I know they play Sunday. You know, they're big. They're physical. They kicked our butts on the glass here. It was obviously a wild game, that game, which was a lot of fun, and I'm sure they'll be very motivated to get us back. And you know, that's the challenge that we've got ahead of us, which I'm looking forward to. It'll be a lot of fun and you know, good experience for the guys and everybody involved.